Hey everyone, welcome back to the Crazy Dreamer Network. My name is AJ and let's hop right into today's reading. Today's reading is a pick a card on what God, source energy, spirit wants you to know right now in this moment. We have 4 piles. Pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. Pile number 1, we have this malachite crystal with I hold purity in high esteem. Pile number 2, we have this tektite crystal with I speak with good intent. Pile number 3, we have this amazonite crystal heart with I am open to love in various forms. And pile number 4, we have this clear quartz crystal with I respect the property of others, okay? So I'll give you all some time to meditate on your piles. All right, Dreamers. Again, pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in your readings. Bye. Hey, pile number 1s, welcome back to your reading. So you all either or chose this malachite crystal or this oracle card, I hold purity in high esteem. So the message that I'm getting from God, spirit, source, energy right now, specifically for you, pile number 1, is I sense this transformation happening, especially with the energy of the malachite crystal. But I feel like a lot of things are coming into harmony and are coming into alignment within you right in this moment. And I feel like God, spirit, source, energy wants you to understand that everything is okay and everything is working out for your highest good. Okay. It's springtime. Easter was yesterday, so I'm filming this a day after like Easter, or I think Passover and another religious holiday fell on the same day. And my mom told me it only happens every like 33 years. So we all know 33 is a master number. So I feel like God really is sending you this profound message of like alignment and put yourself on a pedestal. You know what I'm saying? You're not above or beneath anyone, but for yourself, if you need to accentuate certain aspects of yourself so you can feel more loved by you, do it, okay? And how you do that is through purity, right? How you do that is through being your purest, authentic self and being your most aligned self and being attuned with you and the higher source, right? Being attuned with yourself and God or spirit or source energy or the most high, whatever you want to call that being of energy, right? So I feel like a lot of you all could have been almost like aligning your chakras too. Maybe you've been feeling like out of whack in certain, areas of your body, and you've been kind of leaning into that directive of like, do this, right? Some of us, I know we get like urges like, I need to drink more water, or I need to exercise more, or I need to spend more time with my family. I feel like that in particular, whoever has been like feeling those, that's the direct message from God to you, okay? But let's get more details about this. So I already shuffled and cleansed the deck off camera. God, what do you want pile number 1s to know right now? God, spirit, source, energy, what do you want our pile number 1s to know right now in this moment, spirit? Clear, concise, accurate messages, spirit. Thank you. Okay, so we have Pisces, intimacy, intuition, and compassion. Let's pull 2 more cards. God, what do you want our pile number 1s to know in this moment? What do you want our pile number 1s to know in this moment? Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 1s. Thank you. All right. So we have air, open-mindedness, objectivity, and learning. And then we have Mercury, another air kind of element. Not really, but kind of. Mercury reminds me of Gemini. So think, learn, network, and communicate. So pile number ones. What your oracle cards are suggesting. Oh, here we go. Bottom of the deck, we have opposition, and it says imbalance, a point of tension, and a power struggle. So pile number ones, what I'm getting with the Pisces, intimacy, intuition, and compassion card, the air, open-mindedness, objectivity, and learning, and the Mercury card, think, learn, network, and communicate, as well as the opposition card, imbalance, a point of tension, and a power struggle, is that you could be finding some type of like power struggle with your emotions and verbalizing them. And I feel like God, spirit, source, energy wants to give you the advice of transformation, of coming from a balanced place whenever you communicate, because sometimes our emotions can get the best of us and they can actually lie to us if we're not aware of letting our emotions kind of like run off or run the show, so to speak. So I'm getting right now, it's encouraged to continue this inner peace type of energy that Pisceans have, right? Because I know the twin fishes are a representation of inner peace, and that's the beautiful side. That's the positive side of the Piscean nature, is that there's a lot of inner peace that is within the Piscean nature, and they try to communicate that to others or give that sense to others, right? But on the other hand, I feel like there is this alignment that is trying to take place in your life, maybe due to a transformation or due to something that you've been calling in as well, pile number ones. You could be dealing with a Piscean, you could be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. But I feel like with the bottom here, opposition, imbalance, a point of tension, and a power struggle, I feel like your emotions are kind of getting in the way of how you communicate, or like having tact or decorum in how you communicate. Because like I said earlier, sometimes our emotions could get the best of us where we are reacting instead of responding, right? And I feel like God, spirit, source, energy just really wants you to be conscientious of that at this time and stay in a balanced place, because that's when you're at your best, right? That's when you're able to communicate efficiently. That's when you're able to be open-minded and objective and learn. And I feel like you're also learning how to communicate through maybe like really big emotions, you know, because sometimes, and you know, I have this dealings too as a Pisces, where we can get so engulfed in our emotions that we tend to kind of like react versus respond, or just be so consumed in our emotional depths as a water sign, where we lose sight of the place and the need for logic. Okay, so let's pull some cards to get more understanding about what God's spirit, source, energy's advice is to you right now. What advice do you want to give to our pile number one, spirit, in this moment? What advice do you want to give to our pile number ones in this moment, spirit? We have Six of Swords. What advice do you want to give to our pile number ones in this moment? Okay. We have the Star card, more Aquarius energy, air energy. We have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Two of Wands. What advice do you want to give to our pile number ones in this moment, spirit? And we have the Two of Pentacles. So, you know what else I'm getting, pile number ones? We have the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. And this is a very direct message, but I feel like God, Spirit, Source, Energy's advice to you is like, you are very harmonious when things are kind of going well and you can handle things and you don't have too much stress in your life or too much things on your plate, right? But I feel like where things kind of like not take a turn, but when you start to kind of deliberate on things or be too hyper emotional, can kind of become hyper emotional, is when you are juggling a lot, right? There's a lot of twos here as well. We have the Two of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. So I'm getting this call of balance, right? I'm getting this call of like balancing things in your life, whether it be the highs, the lows, the ups and the downs. And once you kind of get that perfect remedy, things will just be so much clearer and calmer and easier in your life, right? So with the Six of Swords, the Star, Seven of Pentacles, Two of Wands, and Two of Pentacles, I have a feeling things are also about to ramp up in your life and you're on the right path. I feel like even those days where we fall short, right? And you feel like, maybe I should have never said that thing, or I should have thought about how I came across or what I was saying. I feel like Spirit is telling you that don't dwell on the past, just keep looking forward. I have a feeling you also could have been waiting for someone or something for quite some time now, pile number ones. And it just felt like someone's kind of taking their sweet, precious time, or something is kind of taking its sweet, precious time. It could be a wish, right? It could be something that you've been wanting for quite a while now to come into fruition. And you've probably have been deliberating on whether or not it's even worth waiting for anymore. If you should just give up and move on to something else, right? Water something else, tend to something else. But I feel like you are so almost like set on this thing that you've invested so much time for and so much time with, and you know it's almost like your key to success. It's success is there. The path is there so much you can just taste it, you can smell it. It's right in your face. But it's again doing the juggling act, right? Doing the balancing act of your emotions or your relationships and just the day-to-day, right? But in general, what I'm getting from God, Spirit, Source, Energy is that you are on the right path. You are nurturing, you are loving, you are abundant, you are all these things that you want to be and are calling in. It's just you. I feel like Spirit is saying have patience with yourself and have patience with others right now, okay? Because this Six of Swords is screaming at me. It's like this rabbit here, the tail of the what is it? The tortoise and the hare, right? This rabbit here is like, I've been here for days. I'm ready to go. And this tortoise is just kind of taking its sweet, precious time. But the rabbit is just like, here we go. I'm waiting. I've got my bags packed. I'm waiting and ready to go. And yeah. So I just feel like there's a lot of contemplation here. There's a lot of assessment. But regardless, you're doing the right thing. You're on the right path. And I feel like there is going to be a wish granted for you. It's just going to require patience on your end, pile number ones, okay? So that's the advice from Spirit. But let's close out your reading with some words of encouragement from God. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Advice, guidance, and wisdom to close out our pile number one reading. last words of advice, guidance, and wisdom to close out our pile number one's reading. Thank you, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this deck, for giving our pile number ones clear, concise, accurate advice, guidance, and wisdom that will best help them during this time. Thank you. Let's see. So we have two cards. I'm just going to take these two. So we have my happiness is a direct reflection of my faith, of my level of faith in the universe. I don't think I've ever pulled this card in this deck before. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. So exactly, this is talking about a wish fulfillment here. And you have to realize, pile number ones, that regardless of what's going on around you, it's your faith that's going to produce the results, okay? Or that's a benefactor. That is a key component, our faith, okay? So if you are kind of rushing something or speeding up the process in something, question yourself, how deep is your faith if you have to speed it up, right? If you have to pedestalize it, right? Saying it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Not to say that you shouldn't pedestalize yourself and pedestalize purity, whatever that means to you, right? I'm not saying this in like a general term of purity. What is pure for you, right? Is that responding instead of reacting? Is that giving people grace and time to deal with their own stuff versus rushing the process or trying to kind of like force a round hole into a square peg, you know, things of that nature. And we have, when I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. And that's what I was saying earlier, is that no matter what happens, no matter if you were to get into an argument with someone or to feel imbalanced about something that happened, for instance, you're redeemable, okay? And I feel like sometimes we need to hear that, like, we're redeemable people. And I feel like Spirit really wants you to realize how much you're loved and cared about. And, you know, you're redeemable in spirit, period. Even if others don't think that of you, you are. That's intrinsic, okay? So, yeah, pile number ones, that was pretty deep, but that's all the time that I have for you right now, my lovely dreamy dreamers. If you like this reading, if it resonated, please hit that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe. Share this content with loved ones, family, friends, or whoever would benefit from the messages provided here today. If you are interested in a lovely tarot journal, look no further. The link to this tarot journal will be in the description box down below. $20, and Amazon will ship it directly to your address or wherever you want it sent to. Also, I was even thinking, for some of you all, you might, for anybody who has been following the last like 5 readings, you might have seen a theme with Pisces and air signs, whether it be Pisces Gemini or Pisces Mercury, or just the Pisces air sign coming out. So this is something for those of you who have the journal already. You guys can go back in and reflect, like, why do I keep picking this pile? What does this pile mean to me? What are the transits? Like, what's going on? We even have a section of the journal where you can circle the moon phases, and that'll probably give you some type of consensus as to what is going on, okay? But long story short, I love you so much, pile number ones, and I'll see you in your next reading. Bye. Hey, pile number twos, welcome back to your reading. So you all either chose this Tektite crystal for your crystal selection, or I speak with good intent, okay? I think this card is really beautiful. You can tell this person in this card is very genteel. I forget what the symbolic meaning of this particular bird is, but I know there's a profound meaning here. And I just think it's interesting because this woman or this figure in this card is very like goddess-like. and you can tell that they're very gentle in their approach with something. So I do want to read to you a little bit of what tektite means in relation to the spiritual meaning of this crystal. I was even going to say it's funny because I was kind of like I just glimpsed at the meaning, and I was going to say it really this card kind of reminded me also of pile number ones. So you also might have been attracted to that pile as well. But it says attributes. Because of its extraterrestrial origin, tektite is believed to enhance communication with other worlds and to encourage spiritual growth through absorption and retention of higher knowledge. It forms a link between the creative energy and matter. Exactly. The exact component of this reading, right? So it says tektite helps you to release undesirable experiences, remembering lessons learned and concentrating on those things that are conducive to spiritual growth. It takes you deep into the heart of the matter, promoting insight into the true cause and necessary action, okay? It says, placed on the chakras, tektite balances the energy flow and may reverse a chakra that is spinning the wrong way. Helpful for telepathy and clairvoyance. If tektite is placed on the third eye, it opens communication with other dimensions. The stone strengthens the biomagnetic sheath around the body, okay? I really like this. So I feel like God, Spirit, Source, Energy advice to you in this moment, pile number twos, is that you are powerful beyond measure, and your voice is extremely powerful as well. And I think some of you are just getting familiar with how people listen when you speak and how your voice goes a long way because it's something within you. Maybe you've always wanted to be a speaker. Maybe you've always wanted to be a public speaker. Maybe it's just your presence, but it commands attention, in ways in which I don't even think you fully realize, Remember how I said this figure is very like goddess, like very like genteel and like goddess type of energy? This is what I get from you, pile number twos. Like, this is the energy you could be emanating, okay? But without further delay, let's see the more messages that Spirit wants to give you in regards to advice that you need to hear in this moment. Clear, concise, accurate advice and guidance that you want to give to pile number twos in this moment, God, Spirit, Source, Energy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we have Chiron with hurt and heal. Advice to pile number twos in this moment, Spirit. We have opposition, imbalance, a point of tension, and a power struggle. Advice in this moment for our pile number twos, Spirit. Advice to our pile number twos in this moment, Spirit. And then we have the fourth house with cultural and family roots, home, peace, and comfort. Bottom of the deck, Venus, give and receive love, find value, and see beauty. So the advice from God, Spirit, Source, Energy, for you, pile number twos, is I feel like you are healing. You are currently healing the hurt from maybe like ancestral hurts, right? Family roots. You could be really undoing some generational curses, and you also could have a gift of clairvoyance, whereas your ancestors don't mind coming to you and telling you, like directing your steps, taking orders because you're open to receiving their guidance from beyond. I have a feeling this might kind of take a toll on you to a certain degree because there's this imbalance or there's this like tension or power struggle, whereas you're like, is this really happening? Like, am I really feeling the call of like my ancestors to move in a different way versus what I've seen done with my mother or my grandmother or my grandparents, what I've seen done throughout my existence? Or is this like all in my imagination? I feel like you could also be not the black sheep. I don't know. For some reason, I don't like that term, the black sheep. But you could be like the outlier in your family or in social dynamics that are really close to you, whereas you really don't feel heard or understood, but it's literally for a purpose, pile number twos. And I feel like that purpose is through your ancestral line, you are being asked to kind of like be the difference. You're asked to be the difference because you can handle it or you're open to it. Whereas maybe other people in your family line haven't been open to this. And as soon as your ancestors seen a conduit in you, they jumped on it and they're like, but this person will listen. So let's see how far we can kind of like take them in life if they just stay on course and listen to what we have to say energetically, right? It's almost like when you get those nudges or urges to like get off the freeway early or take a different route to work, like the scenic route. You usually see things that you probably wouldn't have saw doing the same old thing that you do day in and day out. But let's get more details on this because this is very interesting. Tell us more, Spirit. Tell us more advice that you have for pile number twos in this moment. I'm also getting, see things clearly. You don't have to perpetuate the ways in which you were taught to do something. You could do it differently. And I think you're getting a greater understanding of that as well, pile number twos. I feel like your ancestors want you to do something differently than what has been shown to you. Advice for our pile number twos. So we have the Ten of Swords. Advice for our pile number twos in this moment from Spirit. Thank you. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Advice for our pile number twos in this moment from Spirit. Spirit's advice for our pile number twos in this moment. We have the Empress. Advice from our pile number twos for our pile number twos from Spirit in this moment. Thank you. So we have the Nine of Pentacles, and then at the bottom of the deck, the Fool 2.0. Yeah, I feel like there's also a message for you, pile number twos and pile number ones, if you guys haven't watched that yet. So I feel like you're really becoming, you are this new person, period. With the Fool 2.0. And there's two Fool cards in this deck. There's a regular Fool and then there's a Fool 2.0. So I feel like you're changing and rearranging. And I feel like to an extent, you've basically mastered your emotions to an extent and the material world. However, it's something with your communication with the Ten of Swords here. Oops. This has been coming out a lot as well, pile number two. So if you guys have your tarot journal, I would definitely, open it and kind of like take notes for those who the Ten of Swords has been frequenting. And I say the Ten of Swords in this regards, it's something about maybe the way in which you communicate that could be You see how we have these two queens? So this could represent two different people also. This could represent water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This could represent earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, right? But there's a lot of feminine energy here, a lot. And this could even be a female ancestor, or like the spirit of a female ancestor coming in to like nurture you or talk to you or like educate you about something, right? Because we have the Empress here. Now the Empress is an amalgamation of all the queens, just how the Emperor is an amalgamation of all the kings. But it's interesting too, because we also have the Nine of Pentacles, which is the precursor. It's the minor arcana version of the major arcana, the Empress, right? But it's here it's the last card, right? So I feel as if you might have been making progress in a lot of ways, but I feel like you could have felt like you were regressing in certain ways, and that could have been through your verbal communication, right? Catastrophizing things. That's the theme that keeps coming up in a lot of these pick a card readings in certain piles, right? So that's what I wanted you guys to get out your journal and kind of write this out, because I've noticed a theme with the Ten of Swords and like catastrophizing or sizing things, right? Thinking that they're worse than what it is. And I feel like exactly, look, I speak with a good intent. So when you are feeling those catastrophic kind of like emotions, I think how you feel in the moment and what you know to be right, like you know the right thing to do in that moment, but you say the opposite, and that's where the opposition is. And it's because of this hurt. And I feel like God, spirit, source energy really wants you to prioritize speaking with good intent at this point in your life, because I feel like you have or you're on the precipice of mastering like certain avenues and areas in your life, right? Pile number 2s. And this could be in love, because look at this. I just now noticed this as well. Bottom of this card, there's the pearl with the shell in it. And then this Venus card, there's the pearl with in the shell, right? So this talks about love. This talks about Venusian energy. This talks about giving and receiving love and finding value and seeing beauty, right? And I feel like you have to find value and see beauty in yourself so you can perpetuate that into your relationships or into your family dynamics or into something that you're trying to grow. Because I have a feeling here there could have been maybe even a rock bottom moment that came and went, but you don't want this to continue to define you, and you don't want it, as like that saying goes, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. So by this point, right, with the full 2.0 at the bottom of the deck, you've already been here. You know, this isn't anything new to you, but it's almost like God, spirit, source energy wants you to know, in order not to regress, in order to continue to progress and grow and be transformed, you have to implement, okay? It's great to speak with good intent, but are you implementing the words that you're speaking? Or are you saying one thing but doing another? And that's just what I'm getting, because there's a lot of feminine energy here, like Queen, Empress, Nine of Pentacles, like Venus, there is a lot of Venusian energy and I want to say emotions, nurturement, things of that nature. And it could be in regards to like I said, maybe the women in your family that have gone a certain route, and like your aunts, and you're afraid of going that route, right? Because you don't want to get hurt. You don't want it to be like almost like an end all say all. And I feel like there is a particular spirit guide or ancestor who is just looking and watching over you and them wanting you to know that everything is going to be okay. You don't have to worry. You don't have to feel this way. Okay. But I am getting, this is like someone, like a guide or something, wants you to like almost relinquish. You don't have to be so tough, or you don't have to, you can be soft, you can be open to receiving the love that you say you want, right? And you can be open to giving that love. You don't have to be afraid of the magnitude of the depths of the love that, you know, it is that you feel like you want to receive, or vice versa. So let's end your reading, pile number 2s, with advice, final words from spirit. Final words from spirit for our pile number 2s. Final words from spirit for our pile number 2s. So we have, my capacity to tune into the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. That was a direct message, pile number 2s. Last words, advice, guidance, and wisdom to conclude pile number 2's reading. Okay. So we have, I witness the darkness and call on the light with my prayer. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love. So it's funny because both of these cards are like in direct contrast, but they have the same meanings, you know? And we have at the bottom of the deck, I recognize that I have chosen fear, and I choose love. So do not let fear hinder you from loving. And I feel like there's a lot of like feminine ancestral like guidance within this. Like, keep going, keep opening your heart, it's okay to be vulnerable, okay? It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay. That's it. Like, it's okay. It's okay to leap again and again, and to continue to take leaps of faith in something that you believe in. And that might just be in love. Not, you know, love is the only thing. It's the only real tangible thing. Fear is a illusion of the mortal mind, right? So yeah, pile number 2s, I love you all so much, my dreamy dreamers. If you like this reading, if it resonated, please hit that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe. Share this content with loved ones, family, friends. And if you're interested in a tarot journal to archive these pick a card readings or any other pick a card readings on YouTube, the link to this journal is $20, will be in the description box down below. Amazon will ship it straight to your house. It's really beautiful, and me and the illustrator Sandrine Ann put a lot of time, energy, and love into this journal, and I think you guys would simply adore it. So link to that journal will be in the description box down below. I love you so much, and I'll see you in our next reading. Bye. Hey, pile number 3s, welcome back to your reading. So you all either chose this Amazonite crystal heart as your crystal selection, and or this oracle card, I am open to love in various forms. So I feel like the advice God, Spirit, Source, Energy really wants to relay to you in this moment is that it's okay to open your heart, and it's okay to not stereotype love, right? Not stereotype the expression of love, whether that be from you, your partner, your family. Love can come to you and through you in various ways, just like this bouquet of flowers. There are different flowers in this bouquet, and this person is okay with that. This person in this depiction is loving each and every flower, although they're different, as though they're the same, you know? So I feel like they're very grateful. There's a sense of gratitude and heartfelt like acceptance in their eyes. And I feel like that's the message that spirit wants to relay to you right now. And the advice is that it's almost like just be accepting of yourself and others and how they show love, you know? It's almost like having a different love language, you know? Maybe your love language isn't the same as your mom's or your dad's or your parents or your grandparents or your friends or your lover, you know? And that's okay. We're not all meant to be the same and do the same things. And actually, not being exactly the same and doing the same things is what attracts people to us in a lot of different ways, because we have varying opinions and ways of believing something, you know? It's like a person could believe in God but not be religious, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so let's pull some more cards to delve into this topic. Advice from God, Spirit, Source, Energy for our pile number 3s in this moment. Thank you. Advice from God, Spirit, Source, Energy for our pile number 3s in this moment. So we have air with open-mindedness, objectivity, and learning. We have Virgo with integrity, reverence, and service. And then we have Sagittarius with optimism, exploration, and freedom. Bottom of the deck, we have Aries with independence, bravery, and passion. So it's so funny because we literally have 2 fire signs. We have an earth sign and we have air sign. And then this blue heart is kind of giving, you know, emotions, giving watery energy, right? So what I'm getting, the advice from spirit is to you right now in this moment. You can have a plethora of different people and personality traits in your life right now, but I'm getting a common theme of like whoever or whatever it is that you're going through. I feel like this person or this thing you could be very passionate about, or you could be very passionate about this person, or you could be very passionate about the topic of love in general. But I feel like the overall advice is to be open-minded, to be open to learning through certain things, because it's going to help you, right? Maybe you weren't brought up into accepting various forms of love. Maybe you were brought up very strict, very fixed, right? In regards to how someone needs to show their love to you. And if they didn't show it in that particular way, you were done with them. You would stop talking to them, whether it be a friend or a romantic partner or whatever the case is, right? Let's say you had a very like narrow point of view that if this person doesn't buy me flowers, they don't love me. You know, and so I'm done with them, you know, and that's just not the case. Maybe they were taught something different. Like, you know, maybe people are allergic to flowers. So if I just buy them flowers all the time, maybe that will hurt them more than, you know, help them. And that is just a very abstract example. But I think you guys kind of understand what I'm saying. I feel like you're being open to learning various forms of love or various forms of love language, right? Maybe in one way, your love language or your partner's love language or your parents' love language might be to being honest with you at all times and giving you reverence and acts of service, right? Whereas your friend's love language could be, you know, giving you, pumping you with optimism and like, you know, traveling with you or whatever. And then your partner's love language could be like giving you the space that you need when you need it, and just passion, right? And just loving you so deeply and profoundly that, you know, it evokes this passion between you guys. So I feel like spirit wants you to know and wants to give you the advice of just be open to different forms of love and people's different love languages, because not everyone's gonna love you the same way, and you're not gonna love everyone in the same way, right? So let's see. Let's pull some cards. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this deck. Forgiving. Pile number 3, clear, concise, accurate advice, guidance, and wisdom in this moment. Advice, guidance, and wisdom for pile number 3s in this moment. We have the 4 of Pentacles. Advice, guidance, and wisdom for pile number 3s in this moment. 4 of Wands. Judgment. 3 of Pentacles. And the 9 of Cups. Beautiful. Bottom of the deck, 5 of Swords. So I feel like pile number 3s, you could have been holding on for dear life to a very rigid belief system when it comes to how someone needs to love you. And maybe it's like, oh, this person has to marry me in order to show me that they love me. And I say that because the 4 of Wands here, but I'm gonna deviate for a moment because obviously this isn't all about marriage. I feel like you're holding on. Some of you are also, look at how closely she's holding on to these flowers to her chest, and look at how closely this figure here is holding on to this pentacles to her chest. You could be holding on for dear life for something that you feel is stable and grants you stability, right? With the Judgment card here, I feel like maybe this was a revival. This was a second chance. This was something that you asked for and it came in. And you're currently building upon this, right? You're currently working with God, spirit, source, energy, yourself, and maybe even another person to make certain things in your life come into fruition, to make certain things almost like that proverbial checklist, right? To be content, to feel like, you know, your wishes are being granted. And I feel like there's someone in your life currently right now, pile number 3s, that is willing to do this for you. But you have to be open and have an open-mindedness and an objectivity in the way that they love you and you might love this person, right? Because this person might be open to the ways in which you love them, but are you open to the ways in which they love you? You know what I mean? Is it conditional on your part? Is it conditional on their part? You know, I feel like in the past there could have been some conflict, you know, or some opposing views, right? And people could have said some things that didn't really that they didn't mean, or could have been trying to win at all costs when it came to exhibiting some type of emotion towards one another. But in reality, there's nothing but love here. But I just feel like God's spirit source energy wants you to kind of relinquish or loosen up when it comes to the way in which you see love or connection or companionship, right? It's a team effort. It's not just you. It's like that saying, there is no I in team. It's not just you. It's you, the other person, and spirit, and God, and an extra added, layer. So I feel like you're finally seeing the light, though. You're waking up to this. And I think because you're waking up to this pile number 3s, God wants you to realize that you just got to be patient with yourself and take things one day at a time and realize you're building up to something. And this wish that you've wanted for quite some time, whether that's stability, whether that's being able to relax, and not feeling like you have to look over your shoulder, or you have to micromanage the way someone loves you, or vice versa, you'll get the things that your heart desires. You'll have that genie come out of that bottle and grant you, all the cups in the world, so to speak. So this was a very beautiful, clear, concise message. So I'm also getting you can even take on some of these very unconditional signs, qualities, right? Virgo loves in a way in which they have acts of service. They give acts of service. That's how they love. Sagittarius is love in the way of Sagittarius and Aries both allow their partners to be free and to like, there is no conditions on that love. If they love you, if they're dealing with you, they're there because of you. They're not really placing conditions on that, you know? And I feel like you can kind of take from these signs in the way in which you are open-minded to giving and receiving love also. So let's conclude your reading with some last words of advice from God, Spirit, Source, Energy for you in this moment. Last words of advice, Spirit, for our pile number 3s in this moment. Thank you. So we also have this card. So we have, my energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. Exactly. So if you focus on love in its many varying ways and forms, that's what you will get, a multitude of it, and it will multiply in the best ways possible. But if you focus on diminished returns, oh, I never get the love that I give to people, and you know, this, that, and the other, that is what will come true in your life as well. So it says, I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. This is basically saying the same thing. What you focus on will grow, pile number 3. So focus on love. Focus on you, what you want out of love instead of fighting, or instead of what you don't want out of love, right? Loosen your reins. Loosen your reins. Don't be so rigid when it comes to love. When it comes to, you know, focusing on lack. Be abundant. Have an abundant mindset when it comes to your love life, or when it comes to how you want to be shown love and show love. Okay. So with that being said, my pile number 3s, that's all the time that we have. I love you so much, my dreamy dreamers. If you like this reading, if it resonated, please hit that thumbs up button. Like, share, and subscribe. Share this content with loved ones, family, friends, or anyone who would best benefit from the messages provided here today. Again, if you are interested in a beautiful tarot journal, $20, and Amazon will ship it directly to wherever you want it to come to. Look no further. This beautiful tarot journal will be in the description box down below. Again, I was thinking about starting like implementing questions or like certain themes that I see, and we could start writing in the journal together. But you guys let me know in the comments whether, you know, that would be fun for you, or whether you would like me to do that or not. But anyways, I love you so much, pile number 3s, and I'll see you in your next reading. Bye. Hey, pile number 4s, welcome back to your reading. So you all chose this clear quartz crystal. I love this. It just looks like ice. I love ice, but you all either chose this clear quartz crystal or this card, I respect the property of others. So I feel like the direct advice God, Spirit, Source, Energy wants to give you at this moment is have a clear consensus of like what you want from a person, whether that be a person, a place, a thing, an objective. Be clear on what it is that you want from someone else. Because if you're not, sometimes a person's property can be their time. You know, they say that time is one of the most valuable assets, and that's because that's something that we can't get back, right? Money comes and goes. It circulates in our lives, but time, we spend it, and it's a heavy investment, right? So that's what I'm getting to. Like, be very clear about the things that you want, and it's so easier said than done, right? Pile number 4s is so much easier said than done. However, do what you have to do in order to gain as much clarity on a subject or on a person as possible, because you don't want to waste your time or theirs. And maybe that begins with how you treat your own time, how you treat your own property, how you treat your own belongings. That will allow you to get a feel and a consensus of how another person would want their stuff or their time to be treated, right? If you value your time, if you value your property, then 9 times out of 10, you will value others. So other people's property and time. So yeah, let's see what other advice God, Spirit, Source, Energy wants you to know in this moment. What other advice would you like to give our pile number 4s in this moment, Spirit? Advice for our pile number 4s in this moment. Clear, concise advice for our pile number 4s in this moment. One more card, Spirit. Okay, beautiful. So we have Earth, persistence, patience, and practicality. We have the 6th house with establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details. 2 earth sign kind of components. And then we have Mars, move forward and defend self. And then we have the 1st house with individuality, self-image, and approach to life. I keep getting how you do one thing is how you do everything. So I'm feeling that Spirit wants to give you the advice in this moment of self-nourishment. You know, if you have something that you need to do or something that you want to do and it opposes with what someone else's needs are at the moment, maybe prioritizing your needs is, depending on what it is, right, would be in the best interest. Because it says defend self, and then we have the 1st house with self-image and approach to life and individuality. And I feel like if you are not all there, if you are not healthy and you are looking at your own fine details, how can you really, truly, with all of your heart, or with sincerity, is the better word, be there for another person, right? We have persistence, patience, and practicality. Practicality, I feel like with even the 6th house is kind of like practical natures, right? Practical details, yeah. Practicality is coming up. So I feel like in this situation, pile number 4s, you could be erring on the side of practicality a little bit more, whereas maybe other people in your life, they're like, you know, they're not thinking about it in that way right now for whatever reason, okay? But this could also be vice versa. Take it how it resonates, right? So let's pull some more cards. Tell us more, Spirit, about this. Tell us more about this, Spirit. Advice, guidance, and wisdom for our pile number 4s at this moment. Advice, guidance, and wisdom for our pile number 4s in this moment. Thank you. We have 6 of Pentacles. Advice, guidance, and wisdom for our pile number 4s in this moment. Thank you. We have the Hermit. Advice, guidance, and wisdom for our pile number 4s in this moment. This is definitely like a give and take about receiving, giving and receiving, right? Advice, guidance, and wisdom for our pile number 4s in this moment. 5 of Wands. One last card. Advice, guidance, and wisdom for our pile number 4s in this moment. Advice, guidance, and wisdom, pile number 4s in this moment, and the Hangman. And then we have the 2 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. So you or someone else could be having to juggle a lot here, pile number 4s, maybe with the acquiescing of someone's property or just someone else, right? I feel like you might not know exactly what to do in the moment, but I feel like if you give it time and just kind of surrender to what is, you will have this like enlightenment, epiphany, right? Because we have the tower moment, we have the tower moment, we have the tower, and we have the hangman. And these are both cards about enlightenment through kind of like difficulty or like some type of upheaval or uncomfortability in the moment, right? And then we have this Five of Wands where there's two people kind of struggling, like doing this tug of war, right? Now, this could be an internal battle that you're facing, and it definitely could be with the Hermit. Or this could be an internal battle that someone else in your life is facing that you are kind of, you're involved with, just because maybe this might be a close person to you, or this could be someone, just a very dear person in your life, right? So you're trying to kind of figure out how you're going to balance what they're going through without crossing a line, with being able to respect them, their time, their energy, respecting them, but also respecting yourself. This is what I'm getting. So with the Six of Pentacles here, I have a feeling you could be weighing the pros and the cons, like, well, this person was here for me then, or this, or I really want to give to this person, but, you know, within reason, I don't want to completely deplete myself. With the Hermit card, I have a feeling like this could be a Virgo, or you could be dealing with going inward to find the answer that you need in order to give to them, about like maybe giving them something. This could be some type of property or something. With the Tower here, there could have been something that maybe you or someone else is running from as well. Because we have 3 major arcanas here. So this is pretty prevalent. But what I'm getting is that this could be this person or yourself, pile number 4, needs to spend some type of time alone in order to kind of like, just for a moment, not all the time, right? Not every day, but just momentarily, to really get the answers that you're seeking at this moment. With this Tower card, I just keep getting the far side, can't keep running away. Like, I don't know why. Like, this tower card, I love this Tower card because it literally just reminds me of an action movie, right? But that was the first song that came to mind, like, can't keep running away, like, can't keep running away. And I feel like there's this dynamic or this struggle that is maybe within you or is happening, in which there's just like this battle within you, within the light and the darkness, the masculine, the feminine, the receptive mode, the giving mode. And it's like, when is too much, when is enough, and when is too much, or when is too little, you know? I feel like you're really trying to balance that, but I feel like at this point you don't really have the answers, so you're trying to get them. And with the Two of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, this is like a forever balance. This is going to be a forever thing in life, because that's just life. Pile number 4s. You're not dealing with something completely abstract. This is just a part of life that I think you're coming to grips with. And I feel like God, Spirit, Source, Energy just wants you to know, like, whatever decision you make, even if it seems like a selfish one, it isn't. That's probably the better decision, is you dealing practically, but you also, like, I just keep getting this Bible quote, and I think it's from, is it the book of Joshua or something? The heart is the most deceptive. And I will try to put it on the screen if I remember, guys, because I'm paraphrasing, because I do not know the quote verbatim. But it's almost like, if you keep giving from this emotional space, then it's going to deplete you. There is deception in that as well. Sometimes you have to look at things practically and logically and come to that consensus through those practical, like, steps, like respecting other people's property, right? That's practical because you would want your property respected, right? So I just feel like you're gonna do what works for you, and I feel like everyone's gonna be happy in the end. Okay, let's end pile number 4's reading with some last words of advice that you want to give to them in this moment, Spirit. We have, through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. Yeah, I feel like you're going to be meditating on this, like decision or this property. Advice, guidance, and wisdom to conclude pile number 4's reading in this moment, Spirit. Advice, guidance, and wisdom for our pile number 4s to conclude their reading. Wow, this just flew out. Yeah, but I surrendered to a power greater than me. Exactly. We have the Hangman card, and this is all about surrendering. So I think that's what's about to happen. A lot of transformation here as well. One more card, Spirit, to close off pile number 4's reading. Advice, guidance, and wisdom to close off pile number 4's reading. Okay. So we have, the presence of love will always cast out fear. And then we have, my energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. Okay, so this came out for another pile too. And I feel like just focus on doing the right thing. You know, I always suggest to you guys, and this works, upon sleeping or right before you go to sleep, or even if you're just going to take a nap in the middle of the day, ask the question when you're in your